Hey, what's going on? It's your boy OZZIEHYPE. I was representing out of the Pure Lava Show. You know, I comment on any and everything on YouTube. Gotta say what's up to all my subscribers. Thanks a lot for subscribing to me. It's well appreciated. Everybody that's on MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, thanks a lot for hitting me up on my cell phone. It's all good. Just want to say thanks a lot to everybody. Let me just tell you a quick story real quick. Yesterday, I went to album release party, Ronnie album release party. So shout out to him and congratulations on his album. The start of it was at SOB's in Manhattan. So I went with ebook because he had to videotape the artists and interview some people. So I went there to do some interviewing with some of the artists and stuff. And when the show was over, it was over at 11 p.m. We was heading back. I was dropping him home, and he was telling me about Steve Harvey. Did I ever see the YouTube video of Steve Harvey testimony where he was crying? I was like, nah, I haven't seen it. He said, yo, you need to go to that. That's something you need to comment on. When you see it, then you see what I'm talking about. So right now, this is what well, let's say 10 minutes ago, I looked at it, and it's something. It's something. It was like, it was something that I have to really say, it just goes to show. I mean, this is a man, Steve Harvey. I mean, he made millions of people laugh. I mean, millions of people came to his shows. He traveled all over the world. He was on in movies, of course, sitcoms, and radio. And it just shows, like, with people with money, like, money doesn't bring happiness. It just shows that, and just listening to him talk, I heard him say a couple of things, like his friends that's not even in the business that he have around him. He said he can't even go to them and talk to them because, they can't even give him the advice that he needs because they're not on in that on that level as far as being in the entertainment business. For them to give him advice. Now, when I heard him say that, I mean, because I said, anybody pretty much, could give advice, pretty much, but it was something how he mentioned that, because I figure, maybe they look up to him, put him on a pedestal, or maybe they the type that always, depending on him when it comes to, for them to get certain things, like probably Steve Harvey is the type that's always giving, so he feels like, he really can't turn to those friends. And then he said something about people that's in the business. This is one or two people that he had talked to, but he said he even turned to some of the preachers. If you notice and listen to that, he said that he put them on blast neatly, but he said a lot of them was too busy, and that's something, not to say that he said it in a bad way or whatever, but he did put it out there very neatly. But it just goes to show, like, no matter how much money you have, it doesn't bring happiness. And this is a person that, he gave of himself to people, but never received what he needed for himself, as far as that happiness feeling, or for somebody to put a smile on his face. Besides his kids, I mean, his kids, he have kids and stuff like that, and the family and stuff, and I know that puts a smile on his face. That's his joy. That's what he depends on, to keep him moving. But it's always, something a little bit more that you want to just, besides that, gain happiness, because you're so much giving, of yourself to make people happy and laugh, and it was just something. It was very, very interesting, and it just shows that everybody is a human being. I mean, listen, we all sinners. I mean, we was born into sin, so it's like it's nobody perfect in this world, so, and just to see him, try to pour out his heart, and even when he was reminiscing about his mother and stuff like that, and the guidance that she gave him, I mean, that's something I can relate to, because it's the same thing with me. My mother, raised me and went through turmoil, good and bad, but I'm that. Because of what she instilled in me, this is how I am, and this is, I feel I turned out pretty good. I mean, she tells me all the time. I mean, I felt I turned out pretty good, and I feel good about myself. I feel happy, and it's just something. It was very interesting. I mean, I learned something from it, and it's just something, I mean, I think everybody should look at this. I mean, everybody goes through things in life, and sometimes people don't even have anybody to talk to. They can't even, and it's like, if you do talk to a person, then you might get the feeling like, okay, they give you advice, but they really don't mean it. You ever had that you ever experienced that before? You might talk to somebody and they give you advice, but you could tell that maybe they don't really understand, or they don't really mean what they say. They just talk and just sound good. So that's what makes a person even feel more isolated and alone, and and feel by themselves, because it's like they have nobody that could really genuinely be there as a friend. Don't look at what I have, don't look at anything, just look at the fact that we peoples, we friends, and I need your help. If you could just give me some advice or anything. And sometimes it's hard to find that. Sometimes it's hard to find that. I'm fortunate enough where I do have genuine people around me. I have my moms, I have, genuine people around me that I could talk to seriously, and get good advice, genuine advice. Whether it is, constructive criticism or anything. I was always taught, that's why I like YouTube people. I don't erase negative comments. I accept it all. That's just me, because that's life. You're gonna meet people in life where they come in your face and they say, "Hey man, you good?" Or whether you're male or female, give you the praise you and hey this and that. But then the minute they turn their back, they the ones that's talk about your back, and because that's their true feelings. They just say that in your face, but behind your back, I mean, that's life. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's just words. But one thing I keep in mind is as long as I'm doing something right, or I feel comfortable with myself, and know that I'm not doing anything that will per se encourage anybody to do something negative, or be around me, and I put off some negative aura or whatever. I feel good about myself, as long as I don't do anything, those things negative, those negative things. I feel good about myself, and I don't look at anybody for what they have. I'm happy for what I've accomplished. Have a regular job. I do love entertainment, but not the entertainment business is crazy. I've seen people sacrifice things like you wouldn't believe. I've seen it. I've seen the egos that's so thick you can't even cut it with the sharpest knife. I mean, but I just like the fact that I'm just happy and I go my pace, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a type of person, I like radio. I love radio. So if I get to the mainstream radio, I do underground radio, college radio, that's the stuff I do. When I get to the mainstream radio, I'm going to have a ball, but I'm not going to be sacrificing some crazy stuff. And just to speak on that real quick before my time run out, I just wanted to say one person, and I don't even call them that much, but this one person I could say I'm not to say one person. There's lots of people that's on YouTube that I'm cool with and stuff like that. But one person said something that was wow, and that's Ed Bassmaster. If you go to Ed Bass on YouTube, I'll talk to him, and I don't even call him much. I need to call him, but I'll be busy myself. But one thing Ed Bassmaster said, Ed Bassmaster gets a lot of jobs and stuff like that, because of what he do on YouTube and the comedy he does, the skits and everything. One thing Ed Bassmaster said to me, he was offered kind of around about something that's good or whatever, and he said that certain things he's not gonna do, that if it's gonna have a negative feed, a negative effect on his kids, he's not gonna do it for no sort of money. He would not take it. And I found it to be, I give it to him for that statement. He's not gonna accept that job or whatever for no type of money, to do something that's gonna be out of his character, because at the end of the day, he told me, he said he has to look at his kids. And he's not going to do something that's going to have a negative effect to his kids, So I was like, you see that? So, and that's a man that's that's climbing in the entertainment business. Go to Ed Bassmaster, EDBASSMASTER. Go to Ed Bassmaster. He's the type of guy that's very talented.